Heyo, I'm Colby from Sanitarium Productions. We're back again with another action figure review. In this episode, we're taking a look at the Thor Ragnarok 2-pack from the Marvel Legends series, featuring Thor and the Valkyrie. Very cool looking 2-pack here. First time we actually get Valkyrie from the movie series. Looks pretty nice on the package here. And we get a new version of Thor that's kind of looks like the same as the old one, but we'll kind of check it out and see what some of the differences are here in a few moments. It does come on this nice window box kind of packaging here, kind of standard for the Marvel Legends series. On the top, we have the kind of weird slit window thing, which I have no idea why they do that, but they do. Side, we get some cool artwork from Valkyrie and from Thor. The bottom has just standard copyright stuff. This one actually says that it's distributed in Australia by Hasbro Australia Limited. So I don't know if I actually got a international version or what this is, but it's the same figure, so we're fine. Backside, we get the cool kind of glamour shot of the two figures. Thor and his crackling lightning thing here, and the sword of Heimdall, and Valkyrie over here with her cool sword thing going on here. So, pretty interesting. Let's go ahead and open this thing up and take a look at the figures inside. We do have a piece of tape over here on the side. Slice that open, and just pop this tab out. Slide this little side window open, these other little tabby things, and slide the figure out. Cool. We'll throw this to the side here. Like most of the standard Marvel Legends figures, we do get this cool kind of cardboard insert. Pop the figures off the tray. And this is a fairly interesting one. Not a whole lot going on, but some kind of cool splatter effects. Kind of a cosmic themey thing going on here. So, kind of interesting, but also not interesting enough. So, let's pop these things off here and start looking at them. This plastic stuff makes a lot of racket, so just pardon the crinkly racket while we take these things off. Do have a couple of pieces of tape holding on some of these pieces, so we're going to start by just slicing that tape open. And that should do it here. Grab the figure. Second, we got a cool sheath for the sword for Valkyrie. We got a cool kind of plasticky, bendy sword here, but nice translucent color. We'll look at it a little closer here in a moment. The sword of Heimdall, very nice, very cool sword. We have the cool lightning effect here that is extremely flexy and loose and weird, to be honest with you, but we'll look at that a little bit closer here in a moment. We do get two alternate hands for Thor. And the figures themselves, they've got these weird openings on the back here for their capes to come in, so just kind of be aware of that. These are pretty soft plastic, so you shouldn't really have to worry about it. They should just come out pretty simply. Let's hope anyways. Do have to kind of bend that a little bit to get it to pop out of that plastic there, so not too bad though. There's Valkyrie. And let's do the same thing for Thor. His cape's a little bit bigger, so you may have to grab that and kind of bend it around a little bit to get it to slide out. There we are. Toss that to the side, and we can zoom in on the figures and the accessories and see what and all we got. Pretty cool looking stuff so far. This is more accessories than we traditionally get with these Marvel Legends figures, so I am digging that. And I really did really enjoy this Thor Ragnarok film, so I'm glad we actually got a 2-pack with the figures here. It took me a couple of watches before I really got into it, but it started clicking a little bit. Who we want to look at first? Let's go with Valkyrie, since she is the new lady in the lineup here, I guess. Let's go with the accessories first. We do get a cool sheath here for her sword. Pretty nice details here. Some really nice kind of, I don't know what you want to call that there, etchy stuff. If we can get the light to shine on that real. It is made out of that real soft plastic, so it's very bendable here. I'm not really a big fan of that big bendy stuff, but that's okay. As far as how this attaches, I don't think it does. So, yeah, there doesn't seem to be like a peg joint or anything on here for her to attach the sword to her back or anything, so the sword itself looks pretty nice as well. Again, it is that kind of real soft plastic material here, but some decent detail work here. It does have that really nice blue color to the blade. The rest of it's white and some silver highlights on that hoop thing. And the sword will actually fit in the sheath. Just kind of slide it in there like that, and it locks in place pretty well. Then I guess all you really can do is just kind of stick it in her belt. Like so. And that works pretty well. So you can have it at her side there, or you can stick it in her, on her back, kind of the same way. Just kind of shove it there in, like so. And you got an over-the-shoulder mount there. So pretty interesting, pretty cool. I would have liked to have seen some kind of attachment point there, but nothing can be perfect, right? The figure itself here looks really nice. They did a pretty good job of capturing the actress's likeness. Pretty decent job there. Very nice details on the head sculpt there. Really cool paint job there with the silver highlights. Nice detail on the hair. The costume really looks amazing here. It's got a nice kind of metallic sheen to it. In the right places, it's got this kind of gunmetal gray and the silver highlights. Some really nice details in like the folds of the pants, and then the lace work here on the boots looks really awesome. On her back, she's got some more of that really cool detail work going on here. And the folds of her cape here look really cool. So all in all, really outstanding looking figure. You'll notice on her side she does have 2 daggers. They are non-removable, so unfortunately you can't pull them out and use them. They're kind of just tacked onto the side there, so that's a little bit of a shame, but again, beggars can't be choosers, so we may not actually get another movie version of her anytime soon, so I'm glad we got what we did get. So articulation wise, the head does spin 360 degrees. Kind of have to bend her ponytail around a little bit, but it's also that soft plastic. That's where this soft plastic does come in handy. You can just keep spinning that around. Plenty of up and down motion, so she can look all the way down and actually all the way up too, even though her ponytail kind of slightly gets in the way. Still looks really cool. We do get very little side to side motion there, just a little bit, but not a whole lot. So yeah, again, really cool work on the pauldrons on her armor. standard ball and swivel at the shoulder joint, as standard ball and swivel at the elbow joint, kind of a singular joint there, not a double elbow joint or anything like that. Still works pretty well. And standard swivel and rocker there at the wrist. So all in all, pretty cool. We do have the standard chest twist and ab rocker motion. So all the way back, all the way forward. Very nice. We do have this cool belt here that is very loose on there, so you can kind of move it around wherever you need to. She doesn't appear to have... Nope. There is a waist twist there. It's just kind of limited a little bit by the way her armor is. There it goes. And it clicked finally. So there we go. Standard plastic T-hooks there at the hip joints. So full front motion, limited back motion, and actually decent side-to-side range. So all in all, pretty cool. We'll point out kind of that nice kind of gold highlight thing on her, whatever this is that attaches to her strap that attaches the knife. We do get the regular twist feature there at the upper thigh. We do get a double knee joint. And we get, let's see here, just the standard rocker and side-to-side ball joint thing here for the ankle. So all in all, not too bad. I was kind of hoping we had a calf twist, but that's not the case here. But all in all, this is a really good figure, to be honest with you. These movie figures are sometimes kind of hit and miss. This one, I think, did a really good job here. I do like this figure a lot. Grab her sword here, even though it's really tiny, to be honest with you. But it fits in her hand easily enough. That plastic kind of makes it a bit weird. But she can draw her sword, hold the scabbard in her other hand if you want. Kind of like that. And it does work. So the accessories aren't that good, but the actual figure is really outstanding here. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. I'm really impressed with that one. Moving on to the Thor figure, let's take a look at the accessories first. We do get the Sword of Heimdall here, which is very nice. Very tall sword, stands about up to his chin here, so it's a pretty good scale. It is also made of that really soft, bendy material here, so just be aware of that. Some nice kind of weathering effects going on the blade with the silver and the kind of the tarnished gray going on. The gold color on the actual hilt there, and then the rest of the thing, hilt, guard I guess is what that is, and then the hilt, and then the pommel here. Very nice all the way around. Fits in his hand pretty easily, to be honest, and looks really cool. So yeah, that's a cool sword. You can use that with all sorts of other characters. We also get this weird lightning bolt effect thing. It's made of this real soft, as you can see, it's soft and bendy plastic, and it is kind of that weird blue translucent color. So you can basically just take that and wrap it around his hand any which way you want, and then he kind of shoots lightning out of his hand. So kind of cool. I kind of think it would be a little bit better if it was not this soft plastic and maybe a harder plastic. Kind of like what we saw on the Ghost Rider figure might have been cool, but it still works. You can do some fairly interesting things with it, but it's a little just too bendy and squishy. Moving on to the actual Thor figure. It does have a little peg here for the cape to peg into his side. It's basically the same body as what we saw with the standard release of this figure. He does not come with the leg armor from that release, and he has a new head sculpt, it looks like. And he does not have the helmet formed on him, so it's kind of interesting. It's a pretty good likeness of the actor, and they did some really cool work with the actual detail here. So you can see like he's got the slight scars there on his side where they just kind of shaved him and let him go. So all in all, it looks really nice. Maybe one of the better head sculpts I've seen for the Thor so far. Beyond that, pretty nice detail work here all the way around. It's got the cool belt that goes around his upper chest here. The really awesome shoulder pauldron in that really cool blue metallic color. Some interesting straps going on here. Wrist guard there. Fairly decent detail work here in his leather armor. You can see the belt buckle there, and with the symbol there, there's a little bit of paint overlap right there, but nothing too terribly bad. You got that cool glyphic writing going all the way down. Very nice, and they even carried it forward a little bit on the top of the shoulder strap there, so that's cool. Some nice detail work in the pants here. You can kind of see these stitches and things like that, so that's really nice. And the cool leather wrappings on his legs there. It's got a little bit of paint overlap here, there, and abouts, and it's a little dark, so there's not a lot of color separation between the black of his pants and the brown of the rest of these straps. It kind of works, but Mike could have used a little bit better distressing here to kind of make that work a little bit better, but nothing too awful bad. The cape is pretty cool looking, and I don't really remember exactly if this is the same cape we got before, but it looks really nice. It's got the kind of distressed look here at the bottom here where it's kind of torn and a little ragged. It does kind of pop off here, so you can kind of just unhook it from the side, and then also here on the top piece just kind of pops out, and it's removable, so you got it all the way around and can kind of see things. It does leave this nasty looking hole right there, but you can see the cool buckle on the back here, so that's kind of cool. I think I like it better with the cape, but I do kind of like capes anyways. Pop that back in place and attach it back to the side there, and you're good to go here. So articulation wise, the head does spin 360 degrees. We do have plenty of down and up motion. Has a little bit of side to side, not quite as much as some other figures, but it definitely works really well. Standard ball and swivel at the shoulder joint. Note that this piece of armor, his pauldron here, you may have to kind of pop it out a little bit to get the full range of motion there, but you've got that joint there. Anyways, this side over here, you don't have that restriction, so it does go all the way around. Standard swivel joint at the top of the bicep on both sides. Again, this shoulder pauldron kind of gets in the way and kind of limits how far you can go with it, but the other side works really well, and you do have this cool strap going around his arm there, so that's really nice. We do get a double elbow joint there, and there we go, double elbow joint. We have just the wrist twist and rocker thing going on here, so no extra articulation there in like the mid forearm or anything like that, but pretty cool looking. You can get quite a bit of stuff going on there. We do have the standard chest crunchy thing here going on, so all the way forward, all the way back. Very nice. It's nice and clicky there. Standard waist twist. standard plastic T-hook thing there at the hips. Full forward range. Pretty decent backwards range as well. Side to side is a little bit hampered by his strange continuation of his leather armor, but still gets a pretty good range of motion there. We do have the standard twist there at the top of the thigh. We do get a double knee joint, and we don't get any mid-calf twist, but we do have that really weird rocker twisty ball thing here at his ankle. So at some point I'll figure out what they call that, but until then it's going to be continued to call the weird rocker ball twisty thing. You can also see some pretty interesting detail there on his boots. That's kind of cool. Beyond that, pretty straightforward. It is a nice looking figure here. Again, it's basically the same as the other figure we got from the straight up Thor Ragnarok release of the figure from the Gladiator Hulk Build-A-Figure wave. We do get these alternate hands here, so you get another closed fist like this one, and then you get another open hand for this side like this one, so you can mix and match or make them the same. The way these work is basically you just grab them and pop them out, and that one actually came out really easily. It's kind of weird. They don't usually come out that easy, but you just kind of pop them out, grab the other one, peg it in there, and there you go. You got your alternate hand there, so he can do all sorts of cool talky stuff and stuff with his hands, and or you can just pop it back off and throw his closed fist in there so he can grab the Sword of Heimdall. And then you can grab the other hand and throw this crazy lightning bolt on here. Get it to wrap around somehow and do crazy stuff. So something like that. So you get some pretty good stuff here. So there are the two figures. Out of the two, the Valkyrie figure is definitely the clear winner. But if you haven't already got the other Thor Ragnarok figure, you're not going to be disappointed at all in this figure. It is a great looking figure. You do get the extra head sculpt, or the new head sculpt. You get the cool Sword of Heimdall, and that's pretty much it for the Thor figure. But again, the standout really is this Valkyrie figure. This is really an awesome figure. Definitely worth the price of the 2-pack just for her. When I picked this one up, it was around $25, and kind of hit and miss right now. It's not really on store shelves anymore, so you may have to go your alternate routes here. You might can still get it on Amazon. If I can find it, I'll put a link in the description below. Otherwise, you're probably going to have to hit up some other collectors, or try the Evil Bay and see what you can come up with there. But if you can get this thing, I don't think you're going to be disappointed at all. So yeah, go out, see if you can find it, and pick it up if you can. That's all the time we've got for today, so thanks for watching. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe to our channel. Drop some comments down below. Let us know what you think about this 2-pack here. Thor Ragnarok, the unhelmeted version, and Valkyrie. I really like the Valkyrie figure. If you'd like to see anything specific reviewed in future episodes, drop a comment down below and I'll see what I can do to get it in front of us. And feel free to I guess I said that already. Like us if you dig what's cooking, and share it with some friends. Everybody loves figures. It's cool. And Thor Ragnarok is awesome.